Welcome back to the Hands Invent Him. This is session number 4 and the finale, The Hands Resist Him. Last session, at the end of that session, the group had come to what appears to be a manifestation of Hero's imagination inside of the Dread Realm, a castle. The walls around you are not up. They seem to be broken down and kind of made small. So the battlefield kind of clears out to a misty kind of horizon around you. The rocks kind of in the distance in the fog aren't so much like down and like on the ground. They're more or less just floating around inside of the fog, as are bits of concrete, stonework, and masonry, like all sorts of things kind of floating around above you. It appears to those of you who were in Gulthias' plane that this space is that realm ripped asunder, and this portion here seems to be what has been made after that cataclysm. That being said, Hero has raised his blade. It looks like during your conversation, a number of you have moved to kind of join him in a sense. But it does seem like the Bear Lord is in opposition to Hero's plan to conquer the lands of death, bring down the walls of mist, and create effectively a new hell where purgatory was once before, and a sense of possible redemption. That said, we will start by rolling initiative. Meow. Oh. Wow. You'd think you'd never had food before.
Wow.
All right.
That's my only one for the night.
Cool. All right. Bait, you are first on the docket. As you begin your turn, you are currently standing against your allies, against the Bear Lord, and standing with a hero. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Take 5 necrotic damage. Everyone notices that there's an apparent tread between Hero and Bait as Bait turns. And you hear a voice in your head, Bait, that says, soon you will be one with me. Bait, continue your turn.
Bonus action rage. He's gonna step forward, and as he kind of steps, he's gonna take out the lash knife and kind of slash at Penny Valka's, kind of like slide and slash at her ankles. Oh, I should have said recklessly. I meant to be reckless, but I didn't say it.
Since you're fighting your friends, I'm going to play devil's advocate on statements. So yeah, Penny Valka does a 14 hit.
No. Okay.
Bonus action
extra
shield.
attack. Yeah. 22.
That hits.
Oh, I can't bonus action. I bonus action raged.
Okay.
Bonus action raged. Sorry.
Rush forward with the knife swing. Panavalka very quickly just brings the rapier and kind of deftly moves the dagger aside. And
As part of the same motion, she kind of like sweeps her leg across, activating her dance of the Blade Song. She also does like another little pirouette, and her clothes kind of like ruffle and rise anime style, and as she casts Tensor's transformation.
as you perform the dance perfectly and kind of move the blade back to focus, the winds that kind of manifest around you are visible to everyone. There's like an almost kind of glowing green aura that kind of emanates out from you and spins about you for a moment. It seems on this plane magic is much more modified. Panavalka, that is your turn. Bonus action and action. Aveline, seeing the spellcaster perform a 6th level spell to start, how would you like to proceed? And also, at the beginning of your turn, are you standing in opposition to Hero or are you standing with him?
With.
Okay, then you'll take 5 points of necrotic damage, and you will hear, "It is as it once was, us joined in this way." The voice sounds familiar to you.
Spooky.
Sounds like Gulthias.
No. Okay. Let's see. Just gonna. Oh gosh.
And with that new information, do you want to change your thought processing, or do you want to continue?
Oh no. I committed to this.
All right. Evil it
See
is.
it through. Okay. I think I'm gonna. I think I'm within. I think that's 15 feet. My ruler's being weird.
Okay.
Everyone's within 15 feet of you at the moment. There's no one on the map that isn't. So you're
Okay.
whoever you're targeting, you're good.
Okay. I'm gonna do Thunderwave.
Okay, this will hit bait as well.
Yes,
That's fine.
do it. Spike him
okay?
in the back. Let's go.
And then I don't.
Poor little goblin.
I'm gonna cast it at a level 2.
Cool. Everyone in that space, so that'd be everyone but Aveline and Hero. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, DC 17. On a failure, you'll take 13, and you'll be pushed 10 feet back.
Does the arcane firearm count for that as well?
Can you put the arcane firearm description into speech bubble?
Yosh, 1 sec.
I was in saving throws.
Ooh, wait. Would I be pushed directly back or
Oh.
at an angle since
Sorry, quick note. You, Elizabeth, what's your charisma modifier?
my charisma is +4.
Yeah, it'd be a D8 extra. And then okay.
Everyone but Nodder.
So everyone who is within that yellow, does everybody see the ballerina's yellow aura?
Mm.
Yeah,
I do
there's
not.
okay, let me see if it's
Yep.
visible.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah, we can see it.
I don't
Okay.
see it.
So everyone's
Am
in
I
it.
am dumb.
Before
So for
I
you, Aveline.
Before I continue, though, Ballerina, it is very clear that Bait is standing in opposition to the Bear Lord. Do you consider him an ally or no?
Not at this moment.
The grace of the protection aura does not stand for Bait. So everyone else, not only do you have a bonus to your saving throw, you also have advantage on your saving throw roll, and you take half damage against spells.
Okay, so I would have passed.
As
What is our bonus?
+3 was it, Elizabeth? Charisma?
+4.
+4, sorry.
Okay, so still fail.
As you kind of bring forward the new magics into the arcane firearm and lance it forward, creating this burst, Aveline, you see Ballerina kind of turn, looking at Bait, and kind of just glare at you, and you can see these kind of ancient vines kind of move around her and her allies, kind of stymieing the burst. If you did fail the save, you had advantage. You would still be pushed back. I think Ballerina would be thrown back.
Yeah, I was asking if I needed to be pushed back. Okay, like that.
Exactly away, yeah. And then Belroth, did you save? Yeah.
Yeah, I would have saved then if I have
Okay.
advantage.
Cool. And
So you don't move.
yeah,
I
you
don't move.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you
Okay.
stay where you were.
I took damage on my 10 hit points. I still have to roll for concentration, correct?
And then
Mm.
how much damage?
I do not
No,
have to roll? Oh, JK.
because you didn't take
Can I
damage. You
keep
took
that 20?
temporary hit points, I believe. Hold on. Actually, no. Sorry. Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's what it's.
okay, great.
Sorry,
I
I-
thought it was a hit.
Yeah, correct. But yeah, you're good on that saving throw. You're fine.
So it says successful gets what, half damage?
Correct. So it'd be a total of 6.
thought
But you would have that again, so you would take
So
3.
3.
3 on a successful, 6 on a failure. All right. Aveline, seeing that spellcasting might be an issue, and feeling that strange tether in the back of your head, kind of look behind you. You can see the line of darkness that connects you to Hero. As that happens, he kind of grins. walks beside you and then heads over to Belroth and the Bear Lord. Grinning, he kind of sweeps the blades very quickly. The greatsword he's wielding, Black Razor, is like a good 5 foot long, and it's a good foot thick, and he's just spinning this thing around like it's a toy. Vicious is also a pretty sturdy looking blade as well. But as he kind of, twirls the blades, he makes one attack against Nodder and one attack against Belroth. The attack against Belroth will be with Vicious. An 18 misses. And the sword attack against Nodder with Black Razor, 23 hits. As he just kind of spins the blades, kind of catches Vicious on the shield and holds it there for a second, and then slashes across Nodder, doing 22 slashing damage. He kind of then tilts the blades back in and kind of holds them close to himself. And the thing that you're noticing, Belroth, is with all of these kind of gestures that he's making, you understand that his speed is so fast that he could probably be making 3 times as many attacks in a turn, if not more. He's holding back.
Okay. I mean, Belroth definitely looks conflicted, but he is falling back on he was hired for a job. He's a mercenary. He's just when his emotions and his brain fails, he's falling back on I was hired by Nodder. I'm sticking with him. So he is going to summon his echo and just unleash.
As the echo manifests, you see that it doesn't have the same wavy kind of shadow form it used to. Instead, now it's exactly like Hero, except that it appears to be wearing different armor. Nodder, you immediately recognize this armor and the weapons that he's wielding being different than what Belroth is wielding. He wields Shatterspike and Vicious. And this form appears to be him right before he gave and sacrificed himself for you.
Oh shit. Emotional damage to Nodder.
No, he seems to be standing. He seems to be standing against the other hero and fighting him. So not emotional damage, emotional. Yeah.
No, it's like the flashbacks. Like, oh no.
Yeah, so he'll go ahead and he's also going to unleash Incarnation. So it'll be 2 hits from him and 2 from the Echo.
Go ahead.
Let me just...
Hit. Miss.
Wow.
Miss. And you should have 2 more.
2 more?
Mm-hmm. You're unleashing our incarnation or incantation or whatever. It's your full itinerary from both. Oh. So it's 3 attacks each. Okay.
Wow, that's some shit right there.
Still sufficient. Swing. You watch as the first one kind of catches him off guard as he was kind of looking towards the Bear Lord a bit more kind of angrily. As you kind of catch him a little bit off guard, he kind of turns and face you and just kind of catch, and then the dragon's kind of attacking and he's catching those sword attacks as well. The dragon behind him kind of gets an attack and he kind of quickly does a double take between the 2 of you. Immediately after your turn, but before Nodder's, he spins Black Razor quickly over his head. A pulse of kind of dark energy emanates from him and causes everyone who is adjacent to him to be pushed back 5 feet. If one of those people is one of his allies, they take 5 necrotic damage.
How do I, like, Bates currently on that spot?
You don't move. So you kind of bounce against Bates back a little bit. Flavor, nothing substantial. But as that happens, he kind of looks to you and kind of raises the blade. Kind of like, now your 2 are alone kind of deal. All right, Nodder, you're up.
All right, Nodder's got his shield up. He's going to not rage, but he is going to try and bear hug
Okay.
and say like, "We don't have to fight." And so,
I love this.
Awesome.
We're bros, bro.
did I
Okay.
do that right?
I don't see an attack roll.
Hold on. Oh,
Let's see.
like if I click at the little,
So for the bear hug, if you click the little speech bubble next to it, it'll drop it down. So
Yeah.
when you take the attack action, you can make an unarmed attack as a bonus action. So you're going for the bonus action attack first. Your action is now set to attack. So go ahead and make a bite attack.
bite.
Okay. That'll hit. And did you rage or no?
No rage.
Then 12 damage. And you are grappling at him. So go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay.
Really good.
Am I able to?
What's that?
Am I able to try and walk him back?
Well, hold on. So yeah, actually you do get a hold of him. So you can move while grappling a number of spaces equal to half your normal movement. So it's 30, you can move 3 spaces. And he goes with you. If you want to shift him around you, it costs a movement space.
I'm probably gonna shift him up like just one more spot so that he's right in front of me now.
Yeah, that Bear Lord's getting stabbed.
Oh, opportunity attack.
Oh, on me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Madman.
you moved.
Ugh.
Swing and miss. All right. You move him over,
Perfectly good dagger on the waist.
and then you still have a second attack if you'd like to take it,
Uh,
or 2 attacks that you can take if you'd like.
I have both hands on him.
You can bite him twice.
I will-
Basically, consider it like you're holding him with the bear hug, and he's trying to maneuver, and you're just kind of like giving him those love bites on the ear, trying to get him to just stop. You're like, stop it, stop.
I will bite him twice, and
First one.
and the whole. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say first one misses. Second one hits. Go ahead, continue with your description.
And then while I'm holding him, basically be growling in his ear like, "There's gotta be other ways."
All right, on his initiative. Oh, sorry, I skipped over Bellarine. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
forget.
I did want
excuse me.
I was gonna
hero
s- Go ahead.
on the north side of my
Okay.
token though.
That's fine. And in between your 2 turns, he's currently grappled. There are no penalties to his attack rolls, so he is going to attack you twice. Once and twice. 17 misses, but he manages to get Black Razor into a position to come right underneath your arm and kind of lance into your like armpit, kind of turning the blade and kind of like catching you with the side of the blade. With that hit, he's going to do a total of 26 points of damage. And
That's a,
as he makes that hit, the other thing you notice is that some of the wounds that have been struck upon him heal. Bait.
Hello. You skipped
Yeah,
me.
sorry.
you said you would not skip her.
You said
specifically.
Specifically.
I am the
Will not
worst.
Sir,
I am the worst at this. I'm sorry.
it's
Paul.
okay. You can say you hate me. No, I'm
I
kidding.
failed you.
Um,
I hate you so much. I'm gonna kill you with your own character.
I knew it. Anyways, so seeing Ballerina seeing that Bait tried to stab Nodder as an opportunity attack, she's going to try and grapple him.
Okay. So go ahead and make a athletics check, and of course, Bait, you have advantage. I do believe the size problem is not subject matter. There's
Dang it.
nothing there. There's no way for you to capitalize on him being small.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm rolling
Okay.
bad tonight anyway.
You reach out and try and grab a hold of him, and miss doing so. That's one attack. You can try a second time because you have 2 attacks, or you can just hit him with a sword.
Trying to grab him.
Okay.
Nope,
Probably not.
probably not.
He has a +10. He needs to roll on 2 dice less than. No, yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool. Bait, it is your initiative.
This little healer keeps trying to grab me. We better stop that shit.
Come at me, bro.
I'm gonna say it now. Assume every attack for the rest of combat, unless otherwise, is reckless.
Okay. More than fair. That'll hit. You have no allies adjacent. So did you bonus action anything?
What do you mean? No, I
Okay.
have reckless attack for advantage.
Oh, okay, advantage, yeah, that's right,
That's
that's
the
right.
sneak attack.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So it's going to be 26 damage for you, Elizabeth.
Yep.
You tried to play
Right.
nice. It's time to punch Zach in his stupid face.
Let's go. Do I take another 5 necrotic damage? At the
No,
start
you
of my
take 10.
turn? 10. Excellent.
And you can feel your body kind of withering away. You can actually see, like, at the edges of your fingers, kind of like particulates kind of floating off. Like your skin's kind of evaporating in the air.
Cool.
All right.
That's spooky.
Panavolka.
Okay, nobody fucks with the healer.
Nobody.
Big does.
24 to hit.
Here's the deal. How does block work
So
with known rolls?
No, that's
'Cause
so she's hitting with a 24. And that's absolutely
if
fine.
I use my reaction to block,
Yeah.
then that misses.
Yeah, then you can use your reaction to block.
Cool.
Absolutely fine.
Cool.
Wow.
It's only for that attack, so you can make your second attack as well.
Okay, we're gonna do second attack with
I
green
believe in
flame.
you.
You have
Ain't gonna
advantage.
hit.
20.
Ain't gonna hit.
I have advantage.
You have advantage
Doesn't
because
matter.
you're intensors, yeah. And also they're reckless.
Again, 21 to hit.
Okay, so now we're gonna give you all of the damage. Okay, so here is Tensor's damage plus regular
you
damage.
missed. You missed.
You missed.
Yeah, you missed.
I thought I had advantage.
Yeah, you got
21
20.
to hit.
21 to hit.
Oh
Yeah.
my bad.
It's okay. Yeah, so
25 with the block.
just to make
So
sure,
that's
Yeah.
what made the first one miss and the second one.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
and just to make sure you know where you're at, you gain 50 temporary hit points. You gain
Got it.
proficiency with all these things, extra attacks. Cool. You have advantage not because of Tensor, sorry, because he is reckless. Sorry.
Oh, got it.
Yes,
Okay,
because
cool.
I reckless attacked. All attacks are advantage.
You will always have advantage on the small one. Aveline, take 10 points of necrotic damage at the start of your turn, and again, your turn continues as you so desire.
So brutal.
All right, so Aveline's a little creeped out that there are now voices in her head. That wasn't part of the
You
plan.
can also see the porcelain and the gold of your hand and fingers kind of breaking apart. Are you switching teams?
I don't know if she's decided
Well,
to
if you're
switch yet.
if you're kind of conflicted, and you as a player, is that where you're at? You're not sure. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your turn, you're stunned. You have the stunned condition. You're basically, it's not a magical stunning, but you're kind of in your own thoughts, kind of listening to this thing, kind of, and you're trying to ask it questions, and all you're kind of getting is this malign, malevolent nature that seems to be consuming you. And it seems that you feel like you can separate from it at this point, but during this turn, you're stunned. You're still working out that issue. On your next turn, I'll ask you the same question I asked you on the first turn, and at that point, we'll decide where we go from there. All right. Hero will immediately just break the grapple, just suddenly,
Where did we decide where I was biting?
His ear, or where'd you want?
It was the okay,
A little
okay.
nibble.
It's your choice. Where do you want to get him?
Well, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I'm just trying to figure like I imagine his jaw just flashing wide open
Okay.
with whatever Hero does, and that being like a jarring.
Yeah. And like he kind of like in agony, kind of like just pushes you off. Just very quickly, kind of just removes you from him, and he kind of looks at you angrily and says, "This is my world, and you treat me with indignity." He raises his hand, and you see up above him a bunch of the particulates that are kind of floating in the mists slam together into a massive core, and then he shoves his hand down, and you watch as this massive rock starts moving straight towards your head. Everyone feels the gravity of the situation as shadow consumes the entire kind of battlefield, and then it stops. You then hear a voice say, "Did you miss me?" And you recognize it as Saphira's. She comes from a different segment of the stone structure, and as she does so, with a flourish, waves her blade that she's wielding, and the mass above just breaks into just nothingness, dust. I'll put her on the board.
Oh, fuck.
And for those of you who did not see it, and also those watching, oh, I didn't add a handout. I'll get to that while we continue. But yeah, Hero looks very annoyed. And says, "Oh, still hiding out there in the mists, huh?" After his turn, it'll go to Belroth.
Do I have any idea who the hell this lady is?
She is wearing very cool armor. She appears to be an Aasimar based on the fact that she's glowing like a celestial. And the spells that, or the ornamentation seems to denote her as a spellcaster of some sort.
All right. He's gonna move up here. Still not sure about that lady, but we're just gonna focus on Hero. And then fuck it, burn another Unleash Incarnation and attack.
Go for it.
It's 6, right?
6 total if you unleash it.
It's a dance of blades.
Sorry, his armor class is 21.
Freaky.
Hold on. Um, I am going to take all of those, it looks like.
Yeah, so he just comes in definitely not happy.
All right, and that's Saphira's Echo as it stands. The damage dealt here is substantial. 20, 40, 49, looks like. Okay. Belroth done. Next up is Nodder.
The damage from the last hit would definitely push Nodder over to a rage.
Okay.
He will basically bark at him like, "What do you think happens at the end of this plan?" And then hit him with try and strike at him with a tree bar to see if that has any more effect than his bite did before.
Yeah, you swing and hit him kind of across the face, and there's like a flash where you see like the Dragonborn skeleton instead of like the Dragonborn in its like sufficient form. As the blade kind of moves away, it seems that there was like a weird kind of flash of insight or seeing beyond the veil. And as he kind of like turns to look back at you, he says, "We will cross that bridge when we come to it." Second attack.
All right. He will swing again and basically be like, "You gotta know, it's not the Council of Ravens isn't where it ends."
Probably not. Immediately after your attacks, he kind of like grins and then jumps backwards, but seems to kind of float through the air. He kind of hits about 5 feet away, and then his whole body just kind of floats around the exterior of the arena until it comes behind Ballerina, and you hear a voice
That's-
say, uh,
That's my dude.
Yeah.
"Ballerina?
No, you
No,
moved.
you
the,
grabbed
That's
the
her.
echo.
Oh, they look alike. I'm so sorry.
you moved the wrong.
You
the
did
wrong
this.
hero.
My brain is now very yeah, but just very deftly kind of moves around in like an almost like supernatural speed and grace.
So I get a
landing.
opportunity attack on it.
You know, they took the disengage action and then moved their speed, which is 80 feet. Landing behind Ballerina, you hear a voice say in Elvish, perfect, clear Elvish. You know you're already dead, right?
All the more reason to fight.
And I'm not skipping your turn.
Thank you.
Your turn.
Better not after just talking to her.
That'd be embarrassing.
that was bad. So we're going to bonus action, righteous brand, and then turn and strike. No.
Yeah, he just kind of catches the hammer and knocks it astride. You have a second attack?
Yep.
Oh, wait, no, Righteous
We're-
Brand is a Righteous Brand is a spell.
That's the yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bonus action.
Oh, you created. Okay, so yeah, you do have a second attack.
Yeah.
You're doing great. After your turn, Ballerina, and before Bates, Saphira kind of looks to Aveline, raises her blade, kind of pointing it at you, and says, "Where do you stand?" And this is kind of as you're kind of the head still hurting from the agony, but she seems to ask that question, and she seems to ready her action for a response. You can say that whenever you want as a free action. If you don't have an immediate one, I'm going to move to Bait.
Oh,
Go ahead, Zach.
nope. We're moving on to me.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna keep going with the reckless attacks on the cleric here.
Cleric.
Oh, or sorry,
That would be a paladin. So.
paladin.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I got distracted by the crit. Does a 29 hits as well, right?
Yeah, both of them do.
Cool.
Murder machine.
Fire.
I'm also gonna use Fury
was
of the Small.
It doesn't double anything for Fury, but yeah. Christ.
I'm down.
No.
Not the healer.
As you kind of like cleave into Ballerina, you can feel the shadow above you, and you very quickly kind of turn up. You see a figure in a long coat kind of slam down onto the ground next to Ballerina very suddenly, wearing a cool hat, a rapier in one hand and a hand crossbow or a potion in the other, and he immediately just shoves it down Ballerina's throat. You
Brother.
regain a total of 28 hit points, which probably won't do much
Wow.
against
No.
second attacks. But I would say
Sure is
that
cool.
Aveline and
Oh.
Nodder, as you see this individual drop down, you would recognize it as Rupert Van Cushing.
Oh my
Monster
God.
Hunter
Ah.
extraordinaire.
That guy.
Wow, what a callback.
Did I take 20 necrotic that time?
Yeah. Oh no, sorry, not double. 15.
Just 15. Just
Yeah,
15.
it increases by 5 each time.
Got it.
Oh.
And Hero looks annoyed, and in response will use his legendary.
Oh, can I? It's still my turn, right?
Yeah.
I'm good. Can I bonus action get behind here?
Sure.
Disengage as my bonus action because I'm a rogue.
Okay.
Cunning
Yeah.
action, disengage, move around, and get back. I'm actually gonna move that far, but that's where I'm going to.
Absolutely fine. Hero will step forward. As he does so, just swinging once with one of his blades, he takes a cut at Panavalka, who has a higher AC than 23 right now, correct?
24.
Cool. So that'll be a miss. You kind of catch his sword and kind of move it astride, and you see his like face kind of, it almost like it lights up with like a oh. Someone else knows how to sword. Okay, cool. That was in between Bait and Panavolka. I am getting a handout. And in the meantime, Panavolka, it's your turn.
Okay, Panavalka whips out her trusty kind of silvery cane, which is her broom of flying. She'll hop on it and use a bonus action to poof
Okay.
over here. We'll attack.
Twice.
23.
23 hit.
Blocks.
Nope.
Oh, 23 blocked.
Yeah.
And then
21.
21
On the nose.
hits.
21's on
Okay.
the nose.
So you're gonna take Tensors and Booming Blade too.
So the tensors looks like it's in. The piercing will be reduced by will be halved. The force damage will not.
20
Okay.
total.
Wait,
20 total so
and
far.
then you're also taking Booming Blade. What is
It does. Go ahead and click the spell description.
Oh,
that
okay.
actually works. So the secondary damage is equal to
1d8 on a hit.
No. It'll be 11th level, so it'll actually be 2d8. Or sorry,
Oh shit.
yeah, 2d8 because
Yeah,
the extra
2d8 on a
damage
hit.
increases to 5. So then that would be 7 and 5. Or
Wait. How? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, at
okay.
5th level it goes to 1d8 for the initial hit and 2d8 at 11th level. If you move, you then take an additional amount of damage. So
Can you attack twice with Booming Blade like that?
yeah, when you're a blade singer.
Forecast.
First
Right. Oh,
attack
yeah,
and then bonus attack.
And then a cantrip attack.
Yeah, cantrip
Cool.
attack. So
Awesome.
based on what I'm looking at here, it looks like the damage roll, the piercing, we're gonna ignore that. We're just ignoring that. Actually,
Okay.
we are keeping that. Got it. I see what it is. We're just gonna go with
Oh, my B. I
Yeah.
re-rolled Tensors. So that 13 you ignore.
no, ignore the 13. So it'll be 17 plus
Yeah.
3, 20 plus
Uh-huh.
7 plus 5 because the looks like the booming blade's being wonky. It's actually rolling the
So-
damage for the attack
32.
on the left side. 32 damage. Correct.
Okay. I'll try to fix it.
No worries. It's fine. I figured it out. It seems it's rolling the attack damage in the first slot, and then it's rolling the initial or the movement booming on the right side. There's no additional booming damage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool. Panavolka, solid turn. Aveline, you are up at the beginning of your turn. Are we with him or are we against him?
So in response, she's just like, usually, I don't know, she's pretty like monotone stoic most of the time when she's talking, but like there's actually like maybe for the first time ever, just like very apparent like desperation in her voice. And I'm imagining like, I don't know, like porcelain pieces are kind of like falling off of her, flaking off and stuff. And she's just like, I don't want to hurt my friends, but I just want the cycle to end, basically, like kind of struggling to get those out.
Okay. So you are staying on hero side, is that right?
I mean, I don't know.
It sounds like you're conflicted still. Again, I understand.
I'm trying to get more information. I'm trying, like me as a player, I'm trying to get more like stuff to go off of.
Okay, as you're saying that, Saphira very clearly states, I fight on the side of life. He fights on the side of death. This battle will spill over into the plane of Urs.
Okay, gonna take another. I'm gonna take another turn to think.
Okay,
It's
Saphira
too
seems
long,
to be
Matt.
kind of focused on you and will maintain her attention there. Here, you don't take any damage though this time. It seems like as you're thinking about, I'm assuming in a positive light what Saphira has said, it seems that the connection is dampening. Hero, annoyed, will move to Van Cushing. And he, knowing that this individual is skillful enough to take his full itinerary, will do so. You see him very just deftly swing a total of 6 times, kind of cleaving into Van Cushing. And you watch as he kind of gets cut, this old man in a cool long coat gets cut up as he's kind of standing up from healing Ballerina. Looks like the damage dealt here is insane. Like there are ribbons and stuff flying about, but it seems Van Cushing was able to kind of get his blade up and kind of defend himself to kind of keep it more mitigated than you think anyone else could have. And Hero angrily says, "I've already killed you twice." And Van Cushing seems to just not regard it, just kind of like, in a sense of pain, is trying to act like he's got control of the situation. Belroth.
Bent over.
Yeah, right, bro. Let's do it.
Just but a flesh wound.
We're good.
All right, so kind of taking stock of things, the weird new people are not bad. So he's just gonna go here and then crap. How much I can move the
30 feet.
30 feet. That will move there.
Mhm.
And then we just gonna full unleash.
Go with it.
Full crazy. Wow, okay.
Okay. Not bad. Do you have inspiration at all?
I
Oh,
do have
Probably don't spend it on that crit roll.
Yeah.
So 27, 37.
I'll take 4 out of 6.
44. Not bad. Let's see. The thing you would have noticed is that the damage you were able to do in the last kind of barrage against him seems to have been healed by something. So when you kind of lay into him here, it's kind of like you're striking him for the first time. It looks like as he's kind of pulling his blades away, the blood that's kind of lingering from Van Cushing's like wounds seems to be kind of floating in the air instead of just falling to the ground and splashing. These droplets are kind of hanging in the air, and after about a beat, you see them all kind of move into Hero. Like it's very undetectable, very hard to notice, but every time he seems to kind of wound somebody, he seems to heal from it. Melania, baby. So,
Oh no.
between Belroth and Nodder, he's going to use a legendary action to make 2 attacks against Belroth. One against your ghost, one against the other. He'll make a vicious attack against the ghost. 25 will hit. It does 1 damage at least. So the ghost goes bye-bye, and then 31 to hit Belroth for 18 damage. All right, Nodder. And again, you notice that he seems to heal from these attacks.
Nodder will basically yell to Aveline and Bait, like, "It's gonna take all of us. We need to come together." And then he's going to put himself next to Belroth and try and strike Hero in like the leg.
Hit. All right.
I know you'll probably get better from this. I gotta slow you down.
So you hit him in the leg. He kind of spins about from the dragon and looks to you and just kind of sweeps both weapons to kind of knock the head of Treebar away from him. And he says, "It doesn't get much better than I already am. Cocky. Arrogant. Hero." In between Nodder and Ballerina, he uses a second legendary action to disengage and change the battlefield paradigm a bit. As he kind of gets closer to you, Aveline, you see the strand kind of grow a bit heavier, and you can hear the voice in your head say, "Come on now. This is what we've always wanted to conquer. That's why you and yours were made." And it's again the voice of Gulfias that's in your head. All right, immediately after that movement, Ballerina, you are up. And as that placement is made too, another thing to Aveline, Saphira seems to kind of move away from you and kind of raise the blade to face off against him specifically.
All right. So on my turn, with very little, let's see. Yeah. I think what's the range of that? 30. Yeah. So we're going to cast Aid
Okay.
at 3rd level. and that's for Belroth Noder and myself.
Okay. And you said you're
'cause-
casting at 3rd level?
Yeah. Actually, hold on.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Let's put the other aid on Pinivalka. Actually.
It doesn't increase the number of people you target. For
Oh,
high
well,
and
no,
low.
no, no, no.
Oh.
I'm saying
Oh, gotcha,
instead
gotcha.
of me, just my allies.
I get you. Okay, so everybody who's targeted, go ahead and gain 10 hit points, and your maximum
10
hit points
points!
increases as well. Ballerina, after your turn, you see Saphira say, I won't let you win, and neither will those I serve. And he kind of angrily looks at her, and you can see like the ground and the mists around him start to swell, and you see specters start to form around you, like a mass of them kind of swelling about him. Nodder, as you look over, it almost looks like Hero standing with his fellow mercenaries again, except they're all silhouettes, shadows, and shades. And as they kind of all look to Aveline and to Saphira, not distinguishing the two from friend or foe, Aveline, you recognize these things as what you're becoming. And as that happens, you hear, don't make me have to pick you up and put you back together again, you idiot! And you see a bunch of blue bolts of energy fly and slam into the ghosts. And you see Sen fly and hit the ground with a super upgraded Aveline crossbow, kind of
What
perched
the
up on
fuck?
the thing. And they say, make the right choice.
You fucking idiot.
Don't make me have to pick
Fair.
you up and put you back together again.
That was a good one.
It was. That was really good.
It looks like the numbers are definitely
Yeah.
increasing for the good guy side.
Yeah. To clarify, I'm taking 20 damage at the start of my turn.
Yeah, yes. And
You see
would-
that number there?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So are we doing death saves or am I fading away?
If you are in, because it says you're at 4.
Yes. So if I take 20, I will die, or
No,
I'm going to 0
You'll
because
just
I'm
be
at
dying.
4.
Yeah, you'll
so,
just be
okay,
dying.
Okay.
And
If
Yeah.
that's the start of my turn, then
sorry,
yeah.
you will be doing death saving throws. So you'll be at 0. But another thing to note too is as you are dying, you do feel your soul kind of like lift away, but you also notice that as you're kind of entering this kind of astral state, like your soul exiting your body, you can see that this rot seems to be manifesting on the soul as well.
And as he goes down, Penny Valko would be the only one who hears him say, "My life was always Hero's to take," as he drops. Do I need a death save now? Or no?
If you took it at the start of your turn, no, because you
Okay,
make a death
that's-
saving throw at
yeah.
the start of your turn.
Then yeah.
All right. Panavalka, Bait falls to the ground. His body seems to be decaying. If there's any kind of room for him being brought back to life, it will be short-lived. Fly on past.
What?
You're
I can't hear you.
Muted.
She just-
muted, Gino.
Oh, Panavalka steps away awkwardly.
We saw the implications of those moves.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Is this a choices have consequences moment?
Too soon.
okay,
kidding.
so
Sorry.
I'm flying. I'm flying on my. It's definitely not a broom. And
Sorry, I
What?
have
What?
one bit of quick admin. The witch hunter will actually cast cure wounds on himself.
on who?
On himself.
Oh.
Yeah, he got pretty brutalized by Hero a second ago. Okay, then continue.
All right, we fly here, and we. Guess it's not really a bonk, but okay. I'm like looking at all my damage modifiers, like Okay, that'll miss, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do a booming blade. 28.
That will hit.
Okay, so we got tensors and the piercing, and we've got the the booming blade. So
Yeah.
it'll be
So pro,
God
tip,
damn
pro
it.
tip in the future: if you're making a booming blade attack, use the
Just
booming
do it
blade.
from booming blade.
Yeah.
Might be.
It's
Okay.
okay. And then the 2d8 is actually
It'll be 6. Just 6.
Yeah.
That's it.
Actually, the way you have it now is fine.
No, because they're D12s.
Yeah. No, I agree. So 20, 11, and 6. 37.
I'll figure this out someday.
In between your turn and the next, you see him very just deftly kind of swing the blades and drop them down towards you. With kind of like a voracious speed. 28 and 27 both hit.
Wait, okay, so for the 28, I
Mhm.
cast shield. Wait, do I? Yes.
That'll block it. And that'll actually block the 27 as well.
Okay.
Your shield doesn't last for only the attack, it lasts till your next turn. So.
Right, for the whole round.
Okay. You kind of see him kind of hit the shield and kind of annoyedly kind of like say something in Elvish, and he says, "Wizards are always cheating." Manawaka done.
You will pay for your heresy. You will pay for your heresy.
Okay, he says. Aveline.
All right. So, oh, go ahead.
No, well, I was gonna say that I was just gonna. I think you already understand the situation, so go ahead.
All right. So a combination of just like hearing both of her close friends kind of like call out to her, the fact that she was Gulthias, like being in control was not part of the plan. She's kind of just like, yeah, no, fuck this shit. And I want to like draw my Sunblade and then kind of go for like a back attack for Hero, just like a lunge.
Because you kind of weren't really in the fight, I'll say you'll have advantage for the attack.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll hit. All right. Kind of rush and kind of straight stab towards his back, lower back. He kind of moves to the side at the last second, and it kind of tears into his side a bit, kind of lancing out past Panavolka. And Saphira seems to kind of, you can see her helmet down, you can see a green kind of appear on her face as she turns her full attention towards Hero. As Hero kind of like looks down at the wound and then looks at you, kind of moving the blades to include you in his defense structure, he like grits his teeth and angrily says, "Fine. So be it." And as it comes to his turn, unless you had anything else on your turn, bonus action or anything?
I don't have a bonus action.
Okay. He leaps up into the air about 3 or so feet and puts one sword off to the side, the other sword above his head, and then vanishes, but not truly vanishing. You can actually see this like shift of his movement as he moves faster than the eye can see. And then he attacks Aveline, Panavolka, Belroth, the Witch Hunter, and the Bear Lord, and also Ballerina. That's 6. Yep.
Oh, so he's just jumping.
Panavolka, you recognize the spell that he just cast, or rather, just made happen as Steel Wind Strike.
Does that count as movement? No, it doesn't, right?
No, it's teleportation.
Rude.
All right. So Aveline, you take 19 points of damage. I hit a 25. It would be next on the docket would be Saphira. That's a hit. She can take that many. Oh, sorry. Damage is incorrect. No, it's still the same for you. Actually, it's still the same for her. For my next target, which would have been Panavolka, I hit a 33.
Yeah.
And you take 33 points of damage.
Panavolka twirls and releases like a pulse of magical energy and will absorb 15.
Using a 3rd level spell slot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, what was the damage?
33, so it'll be 18 after the reduction from Song of Defense. And then versus Hero, that'll hit for 28 points of force damage.
Me?
The Bear Lord, sorry.
Okay.
Oh,
And then
28 points would drop me, so I have to do Constitution saving throw.
Balroth, I miss. I hit the Witch Hunter, and against Ballerina, 19. Wow, that's the lowest roll. Okay. But yeah, after he does all of that spinning, he appears again about 15 feet above where he was standing, and you can see that two massive red draconic wings are kind of sprouted from his back.
Oh, fuck you.
And
Yo.
when you look at the red coloration of the wings, it's not just red scales. It seems to be red blood, like the gemstones that you found inside of the Crimson Lair. And it'll go to Belroth. Additionally, as you continue, Belroth, the other thing you notice, being kind of situationally aware as a fighter, is that the mist has grown thicker and is narrowing in on your group. You can see a lot of those shades kind of present inside of it.
Speaking of shades,
Mhm.
so those two things that I have in my pouch, if I smash those, I direct what they attack, or do they
Um,
just go hey ape shit?
Which ones are you talking about?
What were the hold on, I wrote it
The
down.
ones that unalived themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, they go ape shit. They're kind of crazy people.
Okay. So there's no way to kind of control or like
No,
point
no.
them at anything.
Yeah, the point of an Aleph is complete madness due to the fact that you have unresolved conflicts, but you kind of finished everything at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a very awkward way of putting it, I suppose, but
Okay. Those will stay in my pocket. Then he's just gonna, I mean, he's got one trick and he does it well.
Sorry, the other thing I'll have to note too is as you move towards him, he's 15 feet above you in the air. The other thing you notice is that he appears to be pretty close to, if not topped off in hit points.
What an asshole.
You have a lot
Alright.
of people all at once.
Yeah. Let's see. So he'll go there, and then I can manifest my echo 15 feet away from me. So I will do that 15 feet above me.
Okay. Then attack from it.
Yeah, and then attack from it. So like, yeah, he's here,
Okay.
but above me.
3 attacks. Miss, hit, miss.
Boo.
Kind of scrapes. It seems like the hero kind of leans down, kind of like a moonwalker lean, and kind of like just fights the echo from that angle. Belroth, Nodder, you are dying, correct?
Air fight. Well, I use my relentless rage.
Oh, perfect.
It lets me, yeah. If I hit 0, I can Constitution save.
I see.
So I'm at 1.
Mhm.
Nodder will still come up beside Penny Volca and Aveline. At 1, this is dumb, but
So he's
he will.
15 feet up.
50, so I guess then Nodder will try and throw a javelin, which means like you have to be farther away than 5 feet, then, right?
I would say due to your height, if you want to jump and swing at him, you can, but you have disadvantage for your attacks. But
I
you can
will-
reckless do it, and so you'd just be fighting normal.
I jump up and grab his feet. No, this is dumb. I'm not gonna jump, grab his feet.
Pull him down.
Can Penavalka kneel and like give him a like?
Yeah, if you want to jump on somebody, again, you weigh
You can
like
jump on Belroth.
600 pounds and probably could just.
Oh
like,
shit!
Nodder
Never
is
mind.
big.
you could probably bison stomp everybody in this group with the exception.
There's
of
no way.
The only person who is size-wise comparable, like all these people are like you got Aveline, who's like this like wayfish thing. You've got Saphira, who's also quite small, and Penavalka, I assume, is kind of in that same department. Sent over there. These are all the lightweights, like the middleweight group, and then there's just Hero and Nodder, who are like twice as big as the last person.
Just a bunch of
Belroth
heads.
is also.
Belroth, yeah. Nodder will jump and swing at like his knee if he can reach it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just picturing like that small kid jumping, trying to get whatever you're holding above their head.
Second attack.
And then his second attack, he will try and grab like his calf that he just attacked. So I'll do that as like a bear hug, but I'll go through bite.
Okay, so that'll miss.
That misses. I have inspiration.
If you
Nah,
want to,
I'm
well,
fine. Nah, I don't
hold
want
on. Yeah,
I
the
don't
issue would be is you had advantage, disadvantage already. So
Yeah.
yeah. Nodder done. In between Nodder and Ballerina.
Oh right. He was gonna say you've turned into a vampire.
Not at all. He says as he falls down, kind of like past the creature, making a single attack against it, killing the echo, and then lands next to the Bear Lord and swings almost as if he's going for the Bear Lord's neck, and then very quickly and deftly turns the blade backwards, lancing into Belroth. Hit, and Belroth, you take 17 points of damage.
Wait, where's Bella?
There.
Oh.
But your echo's also dead.
Yeah. We can hear you.
Who's saying words?
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Does that mean Belroth's down?
No.
No.
Oh, I saw a red X. Was that on something else?
There's
There's just
also
a
a
red
dead
X on
body.
Bait and sorry, the
There are
corpse
3
of the
tokens.
Fox.
I'm
is
literally
lying.
just standing on the corpse. I don't give a shit anymore.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Okay. For me, you're underneath the fox.
Yeah, they're
Um,
so another thing of substance is that they're trampling over top of it, fighting. So it's like kind of causing it to kind of break and like it's not pretty. And they're just like kicking, kind of like knocking it out of the way as they're fighting over top of it.
Yup.
delicious.
I would like to imagine Nodder intentionally stepped on him.
Yeah, crush, crush, crush.
Oh, Belroth too. Like, oh, so sorry about your face, bro.
Break his snoot.
Directly in the middle of it.
Not the snoot.
Broke his snoot.
Definitely the
Um,
snoot.
So
You gotta
we're
boot the
going
snoot.
to go over. It was 20
Boot
feet,
the snoot with the boot.
and then we're going to double check that. Yeah, we're gonna lay on hands on Nodder. Let's go all the way. Let's go 55.
Holy cow.
So
Literal
he's
lifesaver.
he's looking dicey.
1.
Yeah.
Did you
How
use your,
one?
you said you're laying on hands? Just up
Yeah.
in that? Okay. Bait.
Deep breath.
On your initiative, you can see like that you've exited your body and you are dead. And you hear a voice, not heroes, say, "Your life is mine, if you'll let me have it."
Bait doesn't have much life left to give, but
As
I
the
suppose it's yours.
fighting continues, you see Hero kind of clasp his hand, and the sword kind of vanish from it, and blackness kind of emanates in his hand. Rise then. You hear Hero say, everybody kind of hears him say, and Bait, you are alive again. You have a number of hit points equal to half your maximum total. All features that you have are refreshed, and you have the undead type instead of the type that you had before. In addition to that, you have resistance to all damage that is dealt to you that is not dealt to you by a silvered weapon. Magic or not. Not that it matters. Well, melee damage, slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning. You still get wailed by spells.
Okay.
But also at the end of the initiative cycle, before you actually do all that, the 3 NPCs are going to do their thing. So Sen will fire a shot into the creature. The witch hunter will run up behind Ballerina and step into your space for a second, and then move back out, casting Cure Wounds on the Bear Lord. You get a total of 18 hit points back. Saphira kind of spins the blade and raises it up into the air and says, "Life triumphs death here as well." And everybody within 30 gets 28 hit points back as she casts Cure Wounds or Mass
Oh
Cure
my god.
How many?
Wounds. 28.
Dang.
I know.
Do we all get that?
Everybody would be more than or less than 6.
Take it, I'll take it.
And then Sen will fire 2 shots from the crossbow. First one
As
fires
they should.
and misses, and then like just with like a click and like a reload, fires the next kind of blue bolt, and then Hero kind of turns and like just hits it with a stroke, knocking it out of the air. Like he's done this before. Like this is something they've done at least a couple times before.
Mm.
Panavolka.
Is being revived just
That's your
Bates' whole
turn,
turn? Okay, just making sure.
And also, nobody's really aware that you're being brought back because your form is kind of still manifesting the shade form.
Right. Panavalka will rise up into the air about 10 feet and just keep doing what we do. So we're
Attacking
going to
for
do
Okay.
a rapier.
Damn. Okay.
And we'll do a booming blade. That'll miss.
All right.
And that's our turn.
Aveline. Yeah, it looks like
Um,
a lot of room is kind of filled in here with everybody else.
I'm just kind of shoved in the corner here. I'm gonna go ahead and summon T-Panzer.
Okay. That's a bonus action.
I forgot about that.
And I'm gonna do it as the herbal healy one.
Awesome.
Where
And
is it?
just have it be tiny, kind of like manifest on your shoulder, because if it gets out, it might be targeted. If it's an object, it'll probably be less targetable. And then let me see.
I don't know.
Selenius.
I think using him as a little
That's-
mini top hat would be cute.
That's really
That
weird.
would
So
be cute.
luckily you've got the easiest one for me to kind of. It looks like they didn't get transferred over for some reason. Probably my force or lack of my dum. Roll 2d8, and that will just be the temporary hit points that everybody in that range gains. Because this is the shielding one, right?
Yes, the
Yeah.
herbal tea version.
Mhm.
Oh.
So yeah, the protection
Light and refreshing.
cannon says. Oh, hold on. Increased by an extra d8 at 9th level, so it would be a total of 2d8. Yeah, I was right. Plus your intelligence modifier, and that's how many temporary hit points are granted out to everyone within 10 feet of you. Awesome.
All right, so it's what? How much is that?
So 6 plus your int modifier 5, right?
I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
so. Yeah.
So that'll be 11 temporary hit points to everybody within 10 feet of Aveline. That's
Oh,
not against her. I'm trying to kill her. All right.
Like basically maxed out again.
You said 10 feet?
11 temporary hit points. Yeah.
But 10 feet.
Yeah. So you're outside of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
unfortunately.
It's okay.
You still have your action. Do you want to cast a spell?
I think I will. I'll go ahead and try and slap Hero with a thorn whip.
Okay. No. Unless somebody wants to spend inspiration for it.
Not cool enough for
Last
that.
call. Okay. So then it goes.
I'll spend it.
Damn.
Okay. Then go ahead and click on the word
Yeah.
thorn whip for the damage.
Oh no! Sorry. To clarify, I'm not cool enough to get inspiration anymore because it's
Oh.
not expected of me.
I thought you were like, oh,
No,
you're not
no,
cool
no.
enough to
I don't have
spend
inspiration
that.
anywhere.
I was
You
like,
lash the
damn.
thorn whip forward and slap into Hero. Through the arcane firearm. It does kind of pop, but you're not able to drag him because of the massive barrier between you and him. It shifts to him, and he kind of angrily looks at every one of you.
What?
Go ahead and make some attacks here. Okay, goddamn. All right. So versus the bear folk, 32 to hit, 23 points of damage.
Mm.
If you're still raging, it's halved, of course.
Oh.
Saphira is hit. Looks like she takes the damage pretty well.
Is it rounded up or down?
It would be rounded down. Against Belroth, it will be 25 to hit for 18 slashing damage.
Is he going for me or my echo, which is at the same level as
He'll
him?
be doing both. But that attack was specifically against you.
Okay, and you said 18 to hit?
No, I said 18
No.
damage.
18 damage. Okay. Sorry.
The attack against the Shade will hit. The damage is not important. And then the last attack will be against Panavalka, which will also hit.
I won't. Well, maybe.
Oh,
Shield?
It still hits.
Oh, can I do
Go ahead.
Sentinel?
Yeah, so at any point during this, of course.
Yeah.
It's attacking everybody. But Panavalka, it hits with crit.
Oh, come on.
With vicious, by the way, which is
Dang.
also vicious. Do you use any reactions or anything?
I just used shield as a reaction.
Oh, that's right. Cool. Sorry, so you'll be taking 61 points of damage.
Woo.
You know what? Okay. Wait. You said 61?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, we fighting.
Mm-hmm. And hold on a second here. Sorry.
And I was at full hit points during all that healing.
I know it's such a big
Dang.
heal.
Fuck.
And he just healed a bunch too.
Well, he's gonna heal less, hopefully.
He heals just so we are aware of the system stuff that's happening here.
Damn.
He heals half, rounded down the amount of damage he deals with a melee attack.
Yeah.
It would go to Belroth.
Alright.
Pretty sure my Sentinel
Um,
missed.
Oh,
by
sorry.
17.
Your second attack after that. I apologize. Did I? Oh,
The Sentinel, yeah.
Go ahead, Belroth.
Alright. Shoo-ba-doo. Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo. And he's still
he's
all-
grounded.
he grounded. Hell yes. You're like, you can just keep hitting this fucker, but guess what? Your face is gonna come right back and attack you. So we're gonna unleash incarnation for the last time just because.
Hit.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
21, 30, 40, 51. Well, there goes all the healing you got. Okay, so as you kind of manifest the echo and you kind of fight into him like that, he kind of looks at you, seemingly kind of understanding the situation now. In between your turn and his turn, Notter's turn, I mean to say, he will use a legendary action.
Oh no.
So many legends.
He spins about on Belroth
He
and
just-
will take 2 attacks. One with Black Razor and one with Vicious.
They're both gonna be on Belroth.
Uh-huh.
He's going to use Shadow Martyr to take the first attack.
The Shadow Martyr will die, or it will cause the Echo to get hit, and then the
Yeah.
second attack will hit as well. Both having been in the 30s. You'll take 20 points of slashing damage since you blocked the first one, which was a crit.
Yes!
Nice.
Notter.
Oh no.
Can I drop, like, it takes an action to like change my like weapon? Can I drop the shield and then
I'll let you
still
drop the
have
shield
one
for
tap
free.
left?
That's fine.
Okay. Notter will drop the shield and then his two-hand tree bar
Okay.
and come down over the head.
Reckless.
Oh, reckless for the next one. I didn't say it for this one.
Well, it's all attacks for the turn. I'm allowing you to do it. So.
Okay. Yeah.
19. You said over the head, so it sounded pretty reckless to me. All right, so 19 and 11. So looking at 30. All right, solid. In between Nodder and Ballerina's turn, he'll use another legendary action, making 2 attacks against Belroth again. He will actually... Yep. He will actually... No, yep, it's the thing I said. The thing I said is what we're doing. 24 and 34 to hit. Belroth take 22 and then take 18.
All right, he's down.
Oh no.
As you're falling, he says, manifest it again. And then spins around, faces against Nodder. All right, Ballerina, you are up. It does look like Belroth just got floored. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you're up.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Even going around people will shift around and drop the cure wounds
Okay.
at level 2.
Perfect. All of that, except for the radiant part. So
Yeah,
17
Sorry. Yeah, 17.
on Belroth.
All right, he's up.
All right. On one, the NPCs will go. Saphira will, very much not liking the paradigm here, will cast Guardian of Faith. So you see, actually no, not Guardian of Faith. Sorry, Spirit Guardians. Wrong Guardian word. She starts to emanate with spirits that kind of flow around her. Similar to Ballerina, they're kind of like manifestations of the ancients, the wild, the kind of forces before. And it seems as like they kind of linger outwards. They seem to kind of take hold more so on Hero than anywhere else. The Witch Hunter will kind of move, stopping there, and take a shot with his hand crossbow a couple of times. Hit, and not much damage. But you can see that the bolts appear to be bright silver, and as they kind of hit into Hero, he says, "Come on now, now's the time to strike."
Mm-hmm.
And then Sen will, you got it. Actually hitting and getting that sneak. Fuck.
Hell yeah, they
Oh,
did.
Sen.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Oh damn, yeah, staggers him. Like he literally gets shot in the side. And staggers him quite heavily. Like he kind of drops like forward a bit with 2 bolts that kind of slam into his back from Sen's firing.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Bait, you're up, standing. You would also notice that there appear to be others like you, and you can recognize them as being members of his mercenary company that came to fight the goblins, not the company that you were a part of, his own band. And you'd also notice that there are like others you don't know or recognize that seem to be kind of rising up to face off against the group.
Okay.
For everybody else,
Bait.
the mist has kind of closed in, and it's probably about 30 or so feet around you, and these shadow warriors are coming out of the mists.
Bait is going to stand up, run 15 feet to there. Bonus action with the Misty Dagger, teleport to right here,
Mhm.
and then as part of the attack action, pull out the combat knife.
Okay. And stab. Okay.
Does
yeah,
an 18 hit?
definitely does.
18 hits, and it's a reckless, is what I said. All
Yeah.
attacks are considered reckless. So 18 and 27 hits. So not only does it do that much damage to Sen, but it also pushes Sen back 5 feet, which should knock Sen off the wall.
Yeah, it does. And Sen does fall right off the cliff, disappearing into the mist.
That's one.
I'm so sad.
Damn.
Went out with a bang.
What a play.
That was really good.
Bait done.
But I'm also sad.
Yeah.
Between Bait and Panavolka, you see kind of Hero after the last flourish that he made and then the kind of bonks he took, seeing the silver daggers kind of annoyedly kind of like raises his ire, spins his swords about in what looks like a display of like, attack, but Belroth kind of recognizes as a feint. He takes a disengage action. Nodder, you also recognize it as a feint. If you have Sentinel, you can make an opportunity attack as he moves directly upwards.
Will do.
Hit. He doesn't move at all.
Pinned him down.
Angrily kind of looking at you as you drag him back with the beard of Treebar, kind of looking at you. He just annoyedly kind of stares at you and he says, "This doesn't change anything." Panavolka.
Okay, Panavolka will actually use a disengage action and rise up into the air 30 feet.
Okay. Done.
Wow, that's ugly. Well, that's fine.
From your vantage point, you would see that the first wave of these phantom or shade soldiers that are moving in seem to have legions behind them that are closing inwards.
Watch out, there's Fade soldiers moving in. There's legions behind them.
All right. Abilene?
Does it
Oh,
appear
I like that. I like that.
that Hero is regaining health due to his weapon,
Mhm.
or does it seem like it's a?
It seems that it might be a feature that he has presently due to his Dreadlord status.
Okay. In that case, I want to attempt to shove Bait off the ledge.
Okay. Just run over there and thunderclap him.
Oh,
you'd
I
have-
can't move.
Yeah, you can't move through
Oh, that's right.
Hero, so you'd probably go like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you'd be able to get to there.
Can't make it.
I can like
Thunderwave
I
would
can
throw.
kind of slap him with
Oh,
a.
with Thunder, yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, Thunderwave's a better idea. Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, Thunderwave is your best bet.
Hold on, wait.
Thunderwave
I-
in this house.
I actually can't move. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, it's because I have the ruler on. I'm a dumb dumb.
I've done that so many times.
More than fair.
Oh.
Okay. And then, where are you at, Thunderwave? There
Wow.
you are. I clicked it. Oh, wait, because I got it. Okay, there we go.
Good.
Dang.
Okay.
So just 5.
Two.
2 damage.
All right.
Oh, wait, well, I got.
Oh, sorry. Plus
bonus thing.
half of that, so it would be 2 more.
So
Actually,
3
10.
total.
5 total.
So yeah. Yep, 5 total. Got it. Get it.
So, done with your turn, Adeline?
Yeah, that was my turn.
Hero disappears and manifests up on this kind of throne area. As he does so, you see that his swords are gone. He raises his hand up in the air and looks at you, Nodder, and everyone, and says, "I don't have to explain it again." And you see the sky breach with this massive red orb, and it just starts spreading outwards. This world is mine. Even the sun. And he starts to kind of drag his hand down. That's his turn. It definitely starts to get a lot harder in here. Yeah. The other thing you would notice is that the sun that's coming down, this kind of bright red orb, seems to be cackling with red lightning. And you would know that Hero kind of has a dragon breath. It seems to be more a manifestation of that than the actual sun.
I mean, that's fucking cool.
Yep. You'd also notice that the wave
Drama queen.
of phantom soldiers presses so close and so inwards that it's like you're being kind of surrounded. Like you can't really see most of the attackers, but it just there's like a presence and there's shadow that's kind of warping throughout. It seems that this is plainly manifest kind of on the steps, and it's almost like they're blocking anyone from trying to come up the steps to fight him, like a king's guard would. Belroth, you are up. Actually, you're prone, but it's your turn.
All right, so as a bonus action, I'm going to use Second Wind,
That's really weird. Okay.
which is what, 1d10 plus
Final
11.
Okay. And then action.
Yeah. I'm gonna stand up.
Okay. Do you want to try and move up the steps?
I don't think I have enough actions because, like, ideally, I'd like to manifest my echo and then swap, but
You
I
already
don't
used your
have the
bonus action, yeah.
actions for that. So, yeah, fuck it. He's go
Okay.
hard or
The
die, I
second you
guess.
step onto the steps, you take 19 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, cool. We're taking it. Yep. Nope. We're not doing that. Nope.
And then kind of back away as these phantom
Yeah.
soldiers, blades, and shadow kind of moves about to kind of tilt on you. Nodder, as you kind of move towards your turn, you feel a hand kind of press onto your shoulder. You look back to see Saphira, and she says, "Wait. We can make this change. We can make this right. Wait for my signal." And she kind of turns and looks back towards like the rest of the group. Ballerina, you're up.
All
You're
right.
close enough that you would see this exchange between Saphira and Nodder.
Mhm. Okay.
Nodder will wait. Be like, help me make this right.
Then I want to. I can ready an action.
Yeah, you can if you
Right.
want. Mhm.
Okay. I'd like to ready. Actually, no, never mind. I'm gonna do Aura Vitality.
Cool. Awesome. So you want to use your bonus action now to cause someone within the aura to regain 2d6?
Yes.
Most wounded is Belroth. The
Yeah.
Witch Hunter's next on the docket.
I'd
And
probably go with Belroth.
okay, since you don't know this guy.
Yeah.
more
I
than
mean,
fair.
he seems nice, but I know what Belroth's capable of. So I roll 2d6.
Uh-huh.
8.
Perfect.
Take it. Thank you.
At one, Saphira moves to the center of the area, kind of spins her sword up and points it skyward. The lightning kind of turns gold and kind of inverts back into the strange sphere, and all of the phantoms kind of burst out from there and kind of just dissipate as she raises the blade. Now, Nodder, it's your moment. As that's happening, you see a hand kind of come up over the ledge and a crossbow come up over the wall and shoot into Bait.
Yes.
You also feel this strange kind of pang as this energy from Saphira emanates outwards. It hits. Since you didn't know she was coming, they apologize. They took the hide action. You're taking 47 points of force damage.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Now, is that halved from this?
Force damage.
Okay.
They don't fire regular bolts, remember?
Yep.
They've got the Arcanist's crossbow. It fires bolts of force instead of
That's
bolts.
so fucking cool.
pretty
Aveline
rad.
special.
Adeline special.
Yep.
Mm.
That'll probably knock you down, right?
Yeah, if I'm not taking any advantage from the new form, the
No,
shadow form.
Not against the force, unfortunately.
What about the thunder? Would I have had resistance to the thunder?
It's just against
It's magic.
slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, after that, you
that
would
drops me.
see that the witch hunter, kind of looking at the situation, starts firing his crossbow into like the shadows, and you can see that that next wave is still incoming, and he's kind of shooting at random the silver crossbow bolts into the wave. Nodder, you were taking a ready action. You want to move forward and attack?
Yeah. So now, yeah, Nodder will now
Okay.
give a hearty nod to Saphira and try and run up the steps.
Rushing up the steps, tree bar in both hands, you kind of rush forward, slam the axe forward. No attack now roll necessary. The head of the axe buries into his chest, and you see the illusion fade away for a second again. It's just a skeleton of Hero. You watch as the ribcage breaks underneath the weight of tree bar. And the second that happens, you watch the wood of the shaft of tree bar splinter outwards and just dissipate in your claws, and the head of the axe just disintegrate into ash. And as that's happening, both of you vanish in a large burst that emanates outwards, causing all of the shadows, including Bait, to just disappear. Everything in the world goes silent as Nodder and Hero vanish into what appears to be an explosion of just necrotic energy.
What the heck?
Oh shit.
You see Sen kind of climbing up over the ledge. You would see Saphira kind of like raising the sword and kind of lowering it, or like having raised the sword, kind of lowering it. Curious. But the stillness just kind of grinds at you. It's like this weighty, heavy, just quiet. I'll just go through everybody one by one. Jisho, what would Panavolka do immediately in this still moment?
She begins to kind of descend slowly towards the ground.
Okay. And what about Aveline?
She's just kind of like gonna kind of like just drop to the floor, just like kind of like clutch her stuff. She doesn't feel good. She feel bad.
Okay. And Elizabeth, what would Ballerina be doing in the immediate aftermath?
She'd run towards where Nodder was.
You see the splinters of tree bar. You see the kind of like metal shavings of the head of tree bar kind of lying on the ground in the kind of neat spread across the steps as you're running up it. And you would see that there's like a scar right in front of the throne, this kind of dark black kind of stain on the ground from where they're standing.
She's extremely upset.
Belroth, if your shadow is manifest, it was also consumed in the pulse from Saphira. But immediately in the aftermath, what is Belroth doing?
He would have also tried to move forward, but probably slower because he's like super fucked up.
For sure.
So like he would have still sword in hand, bleeding, like staggered forward to try and join whatever attack was being made, and then staggered back as the blast went out.
Okay. And as you're kind of like all kind of curiously moving about, Aveline kind of, grasping at herself, feeling absolutely just panicked by the exchange, the back and forth between what she thought was a great idea, but obviously fueled by a very notorious evil mind. Ballerina, you see the one you were charged to protect disappeared in a sacrificial act of, bringing down a vile creature. Panavolka, you know that the Bear Lord's sacrifice wasn't in vain, as whatever you've done has defeated it, but you're now more concerned with trying to find a way home, as you are lost in the Shadow Realm. So
Panavolka would somehow know that the Bear Lord just sacrificed himself.
Oh, it looks like it. It definitely looks like it. They both kind of exploded, and like his axe appears to be kind of the only remnant. The material of the axe kind of blurred out across the steps. There's no reason why you would believe anything else has happened. Belroth, having been pushed back, having possibly been the only person who could have taken that spot, but having been forced back by what came against you, you kind of wonder if you could have done something different, maybe have taken the Bear Lord's place. The three NPCs kind of look around curiously, and as they're kind of doing so, you can see that they become a bit transparent, almost see-through, as the echoes seem to fade, as the imagination of the one who crafted them, or rather, the one who maintained them existing, seems to fade. Sen looks over to Aveline and says, "Hey," throws their crossbow over to you. It hits the ground. It says, "Make sure I get that, huh?" And then
Fuck
kind of
yeah.
starts vanishing and says, "And before I go, make sure they keep an eye on Dad, okay?" And then Saphira looks to Belroth, and as she's fading, says, "You've served life here. You've done great. Don't doubt that your choices were the right ones." The witch hunter kind of moves to Ballerina and says, "You did not know who you served. A great one has been discharged this day. I'm proud of him." And then they kind of fade away, just disappearing with their last kind of sentiments. It's very, very quiet. And as you kind of linger there for a bit, silence is disrupted by a sound of coughing. As you kind of look at the source of it, you see the creature, the fox creature, trampled, broken, and battered, regenerating,
No.
and shifting back
No.
into a perfect state in the most horrific fashion. Slowly starts to stand up. My. An amazing.
I'm literally still standing on him.
Easily gets out of that and kind of looks to everyone.
Balroth is literally just like, eh, and like just like kicks him like, what the
What's on my
God.
shoe?
A manifestly gorgeous display. I could have expected nothing less from you. You were able to help me in my deception of the Dreadlord. Fortunately, now having seen how he can be so bested by those who would rise against him, perhaps he will be able to better work on that which he has been given when he reforms. I can move you from here to the entrance of the temple you left, if it is your wish. You will owe me nothing, for I am the one who is currently indebted to you. I unfortunately cannot help you with your goblin friend, though. He made his choice. And a great one, by the way.
The
It was
Dreadlord.
pretty awesome.
Go ahead, Penhawk.
The Dreadlord will rise again.
They always do. Death is eternal. And hopefully he will have some semblance of his folly here.
You don't think he will only try harder?
Then we will continue to rise against him, will we not? Hopefully he will finally give in to the deception and understand that his lot is unfortunate but necessary. It is
End
not
of a bear lord.
a noble sacrifice, to be sure.
It is what he would have done in any way.
His sacrifice has saved us all, and it will serve as a bulwark to protect the sacred hierarchies.
I would suppose the lands of Tar are probably freed of the burdens of evil left in the wake of the Lady of the Deep.
Belroth kind of flinches when that is mentioned.
I have one more token of my gratitude. Walks over to Panavalka and holds a sign. This was lost a number of times, but it should aid you and your enclave in protections, if Hero so wishes to enter into the material plane as he discussed. I would hope that you and yours would always rise against this Dreadlord. Do I have your promise that you will do so? If so, I will give you this token. The icon that they are giving you is a symbol. It appears to have like a marker of a raven kind of set upon it around a bright red ruby. And Aveline, you would recognize this as the symbol of Ravenkind, which has kind of disappeared several times. Last person who had it was Nemalia.
Is it it's not a demonic item.
Of course not, no. This was crafted by the elves during the War of Sword and Serpent to stand against the undead and demonic.
My promise to fight against this heresy is not to you, but to Halloween. But she holds out her hand for it.
So be it. At that, they inquire everyone to kind of hold hands, and after doing so, we'll cast plane shift, shifting you back to the material plane.
Belroth has to be on the end because he's not putting his sword away.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, you didn't think I was going to let it be like that.
Oh, absolutely not.
Hold.
I was
Hold
waiting for
hands
that
with the
final
fox.
battle.
Yeah,
No, I'm not holding hands with the fox.
definitely wasn't going to let it be like that. As you realize that your demise hasn't come, and this strange kind of burst is kind of finished, there's this rush as what appears to be stars and infinity just kind of fly past you in the moment. The next thing you know, you're standing in water. It's about knee height for you. You can hear wind. You can see the rush of it. It seems that the small body of liquid that you're standing in is surrounded by red wildflowers in a mass that kind of continues on for some time. You turn to kind of see that it's just darkness from where you came from. But as you spin about, you see, standing, silhouetted against a backdrop of absolute cosmic terror, Hero, holding Black Razor. Set near you, you can see Vicious standing in the water. The cosmic horror I described looks as such. It seems that the world ends at the horizon, dropping off into infinity. A swirl of energies cackles with red lightning. You can see in the center of it there's a black orb that seems to be more like a hole consuming. And above that, a silhouette of a dark moon engulfed in bright lights. You stand there, near Vicious. Hero stands there, facing off and opposing you. And he says, as you kind of realize this space, last chance. Do you see where we stand?
You're forgetting who you are. We're not supposed to be like this. But I have conceded. I don't think there's another way.
We stand at the edge of shadow. Everything that will come to be comes from this place. The source of all things is death, Nodder. Death isn't a burden. It is not a curse. It is a boon. And I have learned how to control it. You are not wrong. It has consumed me. But I wish that everyone could experience this rapture with me.
Nodder will.
Go ahead.
Nodder will just sort of like take a deep breath and sort of like let his senses take everything in, because I'm sure this would trip him out.
Oh yeah.
And like sort of like woosah for a second and tell him like, this is like what you're doing right now is literally the opposite of creating balance. You've taken one side and you want to tip the scales all the way over.
You're not wrong. The balance I hope to create here is a new one, a paradigm where The rules aren't set by cosmic beings that do not care for us, because our souls are forced and bound to shells to dance at their pleasure. I'm using whatever means I can to make it so we have some semblance of control. Our fates are not our own. They can be, though. And he kind of looks over to the sword that's in front of you, kind of set in the water. Vicious, you recognize the hilt. It's the first sword he kind of, like, really kind of grew to in his journey with you. You remember moments of, Sen getting cleaved in half by a scythe from a sneaky halberd, and Hero rising to fight that creature immediately in defense. You remember moments where Hero would beep, boop, 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 would stand against the evils carrying that very sword. The sword he's currently carrying appears to be nothing more than a manifestation of sin itself, of darkness itself, of evil itself. Very different than how you remember him in life. And it seems that he's denoting that taking of that weapon would be a choice.
I honestly am like, I don't have my tree bar. Do I have the old shatter spike?
No. The only weapon that you have available to you is this sword that has been left out for you to take out.
Nader lets out the breath. He takes the steps to Vicious, and he will pull it out the ground, and he'll hold it as best as he can hold it. So.
Kind of hold the blade in a two-handed grip out in front of you. Kind of check the weight of it. Kind of feel it in your hands. You know you can wield it, but it's just an unfamiliar weapon, to be sure.
Yeah.
As you kind of take it up, he raises Black Razor up in a beautiful sword stance. Kind of looks at you. Fine. As you wish. The two of you take a couple moments sizing each other up. You full well know. First, he has home court advantage. He also has weapon type advantage. He also has I'm way stronger than you advantage. Despite all that knowledge, you still rush forward to fight him.
During the testing phase, Nader will put out the one hand for a test of might. Will he reciprocate?
He doesn't. Kind of seems to kind of like move the blade a bit in a two-handed grip to kind of denote that this is the way he wishes to engage.
All right.
The two of you lock blades, immediately kind of rushing into a flurry of steel, smashing about, wide cuts racing across the water, wider cuts still hitting against the red wildflowers and causing them to kind of like flutter up into the air. The spinning cyclone of the unending spiral at the edge of shadow behind you just twirling as the two of you continue to kind of flash and lock strength. You can feel his strength is considerably greater than yours, but you feel like you're empowered by some unknown force to kind of rise against him here. And as you're kind of bashing and battering, there's a moment where he just kind of looks at you in a lock and says, "You're not ready," and then pushes you back. You kind of stumble back into the water, and then in a flash, he's on you again, hitting the sword at the pommel and knocking it up into the air over your head, landing almost exactly where it started. You look back to see where the sword hit, and then look back to him. He's not there. Behind you, you can feel his draconic breath on your ear, and he says, "If I give you your life back, and I let you continue, what will you do? Will you come back and try and redeem yourself here and end what you consider pure evil? Or will you cower in fear? You only have so many years left, Nader." And as you kind of turn to see him, he's not there.
Nader bear growls and yells into the empty space, "I'll always come back."
Good. I'll always be here waiting. Soon you will learn. I will teach you the true matter of life. Everything seems to kind of fade away. Just kind of like almost as if you're blacking out. And as the group is kind of moving outside of the tower, you would see laying on the road ahead of you, Nodder, not obliterated, ripped to pieces, laying on the ground almost as if he was sleeping, holding the sword that the strange swordsman wielded during the fight, kind of close to his chest, almost as if he was particularly deposited right there intentionally.
Nodder rolls over and stands up and looks behind him towards the entrance. I don't know how to fix this. I'm gonna fix this.
Fair Lord, how can it be?
Thought you sacrificed yourself.
No, I was absolutely ready to die. I don't know where I went. But nothing is finished.
He'd let you go.
That hurts, but he let me go.
Well,
Nodder,
what
make
next?
sorry, real quick, Nodder, make an insight check.
Nope.
Uh,
Nodder knows
They
he's
were
here right now.
flowers.
See, sometimes I don't know why.
Flowers.
Sometimes I don't know why I ask for insight checks
Because-
or any kind of dice rolls when I know I just want to give you the information. You said you sized him up and you were trying to kind of like gauge like the you're trying to gauge his desire to kind of like come to your level and fight him in a test of strength versus a test of blades. As you kind of look down at the sword, you realize that he wanted to fight you on his own footing, but it didn't feel like Hero's not the type of person who would readily kind of dismiss a challenge. If it were Hero in there, he would have accepted. But the thing that you think about afterwards is he would have done it. He was being held back from doing so by something else. And him letting you go, asking you to come redeem yourself, was more like a plea for him to have you come back and deal with the problem.
So
Nodder's
what's best
gaining a
for this?
general dislike of gods.
Very common seeing like games.
Yeah,
What would you like to do immediately afterwards?
I would like a nap. Maybe some food.
I mean, that's fair.
Lots of booze.
I
Booze
mean,
is good.
And we have like 18 women to figure out.
Oh no, they're already back. They're already a
Okay,
ways
all
away, yeah.
right. Because I'm like,
Meepo-
I can't
You know,
Meepo
remember
got
good
it.
on
right
you
now.
for remembering that. Yeah.
There is a kobold who's already started a tavern.
Good.
that's canon.
Let's go there because he will give me free alcohol.
Doesn't
What?
really
A
have tavern.
copycat, by the way?
I'd
No
rather
way it's
think it's
near-
time for
no
a
way
hot
it's as good.
bath.
Yeah.
As you make your way out and kind of head away, the silhouette of the tower that you saw before is changed. It looks like the tower has caved in, and there's just the wreckage of the tower present instead now. The
That's spooky.
undead seem to have just all disappeared from around the place. No longer that burden. And as you're kind of walking into the woods, Nodder, despite all of the inner turmoil, seeing, probably Aveline carrying the new crossbow, examining it. Do you want any kind of specifics on it, Stephanie, or do you want to ask any questions about that?
I mean, is there anything different? Is it?
Yeah, it looks like someone has definitely modified this beyond the initial scope. Like, it's really very strange. Because as you're looking it over, you realize that you've had ideas on improving the crossbow in the past. And it looks like someone actually went to task in making those changes instead of just thinking about it. Someone actually drafted the schematics. Someone actually put them together. And you recognize your hand in this. You were the one who did this. However, it wasn't you. It was you.
Oh, of fucking course.
Oh,
The W.
I see.
Like like a shadow Aveline, or like
Like
another
Like maybe the
iteration,
other one.
another model.
Yeah, well, what Aveline would know is there is another one of her that's an exact duplicate, an echo that
Yeah.
escaped from the shadow plane.
Oh, an echo.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the
So
one
not-
that we saw at the opera.
Yeah, not a mod, like not the same model, but the actual.
The exact same person, except
Yeah.
evil. Or
Eveline.
Evilly.
Eveline. Yes, that's
Oh,
what we called her.
Eveline.
I
Yes.
forgot about.
Right.
That said, the journey back is quiet unless you have anything you wish to discuss in the process.
Nodder will
Belroth
be
is very silent.
Nodder will be in thought of all the events that happened before, and possibly be like he's thinking about like, does that what did that Mordecai kid know? Like, is there a safe way to
Right?
do
Mm-hmm.
to recreate this? How do I
Cursed-
get back there?
Cursed undead will do literally anything except go to therapy.
It's true.
Oh, poor hero. Oh, he just needs to go to therapy. He's such a good boy.
He's been missing his best friend.
You make it back to Bearton and home of the Bear Lord, and you would note something along the way, Nodder. Like, even though, like I was saying, your mind's in distress, you're seeing all these new things, all these other elements. I wanted to say, like, it feels like the land is just right. Like, it feels good. Like, there's like this primal energy that's kind of about that's very berry. It just feels like there's like a strong sense of vitality that's been restored in whatever happened back there. So it's not so bad.
If nature's energy is like spiked, like that would give Nodder a sense of like a weird sense of euphoria, which I don't know how I would play out.
He chases a butterfly.
Yeah.
You arrive back in Bearton. You do notice that there's a bit of a grouping of people in the town square, and the thing that immediately kind of tracks like to your eyeballs and makes you kind of like do a double take is you see there's about a dozen or so individuals that seem to stand a head and shoulders over most people, covered in different varying colors of brown, black, and kind of white fur. They appear to be bear folk, a tribe that just seems to have appeared here. You would actually recognize the kind of markings and presentation here. They're very old, ancient kind of garb. Seems to be like something that your ancestors in the Razor Claw tribes would have worn. You can see like people that you trust in the town, like town guard or whatever, who are kind of a distance away, still maintaining their job as you're entering into the town. But it seems like most people in the town are kind of around the bears, asking them questions and such.
You're gonna make a bear cry. He would immediately like fur would probably stand on end, and then he would stuck in real deep, and like probably there would be some watery eyes, and then he would like make a quick start, and then he would like calm down and walk, but like the force walk over to them, and like, how can this be? How can you be here?
You see one kind of move through the throng of bear folk, kind of move to you. This one is white, but not from like being white fur. It seems like it's a graying or like a whitening of the brown fur that's kind of underneath. Very long, kind of like bushy snoot, like a beard almost, and lots of claw marks all about him, like he's seen lots of battle. He kind of steps forward, large pack on his back and such, and he says, "Are you Nodder Razor Claws?
Yes.
Hero said that she would be here. You're a little late."
What are you here for?
Reaches to his pack, kind of like
Belroth goes for his weapon.
pulls like this large kind of strange kind of clothed up object, and starts to unbind it. Doesn't look like a hostile action. The initial move was kind of hostile, but this
Yeah.
motion afterwards is kind of like a bit more somber. And as he kind of starts unwrapping the item in question, you see him reveal an axe. It appears to be an exact replica of Treebar, but it looks like the hilt has been etched with like draconic runes and like glyphs, and the head appears to now have a second head. So it is a double axe, like a great axe. And the bear kind of reaches forward, hands it over to Nodder. He said
Both hands.
He said you'd be wanting this.
Not a will use both hands and grasp it firmly, and then like you know how you get like pent up frustration and stress and you kind of just need to scream. Yeah, it's one of those. He just does that.
Okay.
A roar.
He just roars.
Yeah, he fucking roars in the middle of town.
You see the bear folk kind of for a second not really understand, like confused, but then they immediately follow suit and start kind of yelling and angrily kind of like roaring, almost as if in like a concert, like a tribal kind of ununderstood but kind of like understood anger or like release.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time for you. Like
Nutter will now sigh and be like, "Oh,
agreed.
we should eat. We should drink."
Your attendant was telling us that there's a great number of salmon in your stores. We should eat and drink honey mead.
We'll make a big fire.
I agree. It's been a long walk for us.
These bears love salmon.
The bear folk in question, you'll note, aren't all of a kind. There's about 12 of them. It looks like there's about 2 older ones, about like 4 warrior types, and then like a lot of non-warrior, kind of more like just a tribe kind of types. And you know that in older times, like bear folk would kind of keep to themselves and kind of just handle their own business survival-wise out in the wilds, because, you know, life's a life for a bear, no big deal.
That's all they need.
That's all I need. A simple life. Some would kind of group up into tribes and kind of work together, and kind of form themselves. But more often than not, it wasn't massive groups of people. It was just kind of like a nice tight knit band of individuals, and that's kind of what you're looking at here. And like I was saying, it definitely looks like the armaments that they're wearing and carrying kind of have, and like the style of pack you would know is like stuff you would have heard about in stories. That is kind of like, you'd also know that like there was old scraps of this kind of material in some of the bear folk spaces, especially before the forest got destroyed by that asshole. You would know that these bear folk seem to be kind of like, it's almost like a retro feel. They seem to be kind of wearing kind of like old timey bear folk clothes.
So they're Renfesting.
Yeah, that's it.
Did they time travel, or are they like Mennonites?
They're Mennonite Renfesting bear folk.
It does seem like the Lord of Bearton and this tribe are kind of moving in the same kind of grouping, every so often kind of growling like a happy growl, and like kind of moving towards wherever salmon and honey mead is kept.
I feel like
So if you
I
want
feel like there would have been a bunch of like pushing, hugging, and
for sure, and the scent is like very familiar to you. Like there's it like, you kind of have that bear kind of sensibility. This is family. It just feels like you don't know them. Like
100%. It's like the weird conflicting feeling of like, oh, this, like, I didn't realize, I didn't feel like Nara would have had a community and then been like, oh, these are my people, but like, those are my people. These are
Right.
also my people.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the thing that you're kind of gathering from it, like it's like a familiarity, but at the same time, like it's a strangeness too, because like you can't not trust a bear folk, like, but it does feel like they are like displaced. Like they definitely look like they've been wandering for a while. They move with you. Panavolka, it sounded like you had some kind of investigatory questions. Once everyone kind of gets situated around the long table in the long hall in Barrington, because I imagine it has like a massive mead hall, like very kind of like Norse.
Nodder would, of course, have a public place to socialize, drink, and eat.
Yeah, 100%. So that's happening. So it looks like these bear folk are very approachable. It also looks like, they are kind of telling their stories. And the group, as it stands, oh, that's not good. The group, as it stands, can engage with these individuals at your pleasure. Or if you have other things that you wish to do at this point, this position of the
I have
story.
an out of character question. Weren't the bear folk like mostly extinct?
Nodder was the last one. At least in this area, this region, Osiria.
So this is weird, right?
Oh, this is
Like-
weird. Yeah.
And
It would definitely be
Okay.
weird.
they said that Hero sent
Them. And then they gave him the axe you all watched get obliterated.
yeah.
However, it's been modified.
Ah
Yeah, Panavolka has that face of like that telenovela star with like all the like the geometric patterns kind of floating around.
If you kind of
Math.
like engage, you would note that there are still members of the enclave, the ones that traveled with you to town, who are still kind of present, and they'd kind of come over to you and explain what's happened in your absence. They would say that these bear folk came from the mists up the hills near here and descended down into the town. Everyone kind of greeted them as guests, and they only arrived shortly before you and your company, maybe an hour or so before you arrived.
Not to seem too paranoid, but did you notice any signs of undeath?
No, we did notice that they were led at first by a woman, blonde, celestial breed, to be sure. She carried a staff with a symbol of Alawain, but where a star would be, instead there was a heart. After she left the mists with them, she left them and returned into the mists.
the girl who thought with us.
I'm sorry. The elf said.
Well, looking to Penny Volker. See,
It was very similar to Spider.
Saphira. No.
was that her name?
If you say that, like one of the bear folk in earshot says, "You know Saphira?" Kind of leans in.
Yes, she's mighty. Wait, was she warriorish or a healer?
She was definitely giving you druid vibes.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, she's a very wise woman who helped us in a time of need.
The
You
bear
know
folk.
her as well.
She's the one who guided us through the mists.
Where did you come from before the mists?
The Bitter Heart Forest.
So not from around here, from a ways.
You know that the Bitter Heart Forest was what the Lands of Ta used to be called back during the War of Sword and Serpent, which is thousands of years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
And Aveline, if you're in earshot, you would know that the Bitter Heart Forest was the main structure of Gulthias' realm.
It's been him the whole time.
Nodder wouldn't know. I don't think Nodder would have known that. So
No, you're still consorting with the bear folk.
okay. Oh right.
But if you
I think
ask
she might be frozen.
who
Stephanie.
is she? I saw her move just a second ago.
Stephanie, are you frozen?
She's frozen.
She's
She's not.
definitely
Yeah,
frozen.
she's not. She's not moving anymore.
Okay. So Panavolka, you can make an Arcana check.
Ooh, nat 20, 29.
Okay, very good. You've been in one, so you have a bit more of an understanding of how dread realms work. If you enter into a dread realm, you're okay. She just
Yeah, she dropped.
Hold on. Oh, everybody's in the wrong space.
Ah!
Hold on.
Maybe she returns soon, Hope.
Yeah. Oh goodness gracious. So you would know. I'm gonna try and gather my thoughts just by trying to fix everything. You would know that the nature of the dread plane.
Oh, she back.
Yeah, the nature of the dread plane is that if you enter into the dread plane, your soul is bound there forever. The only people who can exit out of the dread plane are people known as bitter hearts. They are people who are very ancient and very old, originally elves, but definitely they have moved to be other peoples as well. You would know that if this blonde woman was able to walk through the mists and exit the mists, she was able to do so because she herself is a bitter heart. That said, a bitter heart who has people can wayfare those people out of a dread plane or into a dread plane. So she basically guided these individuals who were captured in the dread realm out of the dread realm. They are not echoes. They don't appear to be manifestations of evil or anything. They're not undead. They appear to be people who were locked into a dread realm when it was formed, just due to its proximity, and were allowed to go free from it because of Saphira.
Are these the bear folk from Fairguard then?
No.
No.
These are bear folk from thousands of years ago who were locked in Golthias' realm when it formed, and who were displaced even more so when it broke apart and became Hero's manic, kind of psychotic distortions. And then Saphira, apparently not an echo, was able to lead them out of the Bitterheart forest where they said they were.
We stand that Saphira.
I surmise that after the fall of Hero, Saphira must have ushered them out.
She said that she was distracting him. I don't know what she meant, but she said it every time we asked her about it. In the times before, we would be harangued by werewolves and other horrors that Golthias would throw on us. Then the world broke. We just hid away from him. We used to have about 6 more in our number. They weren't with us when she came. They probably got consumed by the mists.
You have suffered so much.
It's our lot in life to do so. That's life. And ultimately, that's death too.
I hope that Baerton can become a sanctuary to you after your trials.
That's what we were hoping. Raises the gun. And then just grabs a salmon and
slurps that shit down.
Yeah.
Because bears love salmon.
Honey.
Yo, that just sounds delicious though. Honey
That
meat
is
and
so
salmon.
cute.
honey meat and salmon? Yeah, no, like roasted salmon? Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Man.
it's
Throw that on a
dope right
nice-
now.
Throw that on like a nice bed of like
Just like
salad rice or
fire.
something.
Ooh,
Yeah,
or like
Maybe some like
pilaf.
fire roasted veggies.
Ooh, oh yeah, I was thinking like a lemon, like wild rice, and like some
Oh.
fire roasted
Some
veggies as
mushrooms
well.
in there.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, yeah.
mushrooms.
This is
Okay.
evil.
I'm hungry.
Berries and salmon. That's like the ultimate bear
Yeah.
snack.
I agree. Berries would be good.
Yeah.
And honey.
And
Some like
honey meat.
blackberry.
Yeah,
What about
you
lemon
blackberry honey mead?
with
Oh, for
some
sure.
like honey drizzle on top.
Y'all give me some
Ooh, wait,
inspirations
no.
here.
Fresh
Like
cream.
the hot honey.
Yes.
Have y'all ever had that hot
Dave,
honey?
you just have to
Ooh.
like fully submit to the bear experience.
Right.
I
When you're in
I
bears.
do love honey and I do love salmon.
Some
And
mushrooms.
I do love bears.
It seems like you built this character intentionally.
I was gonna be a normal wizard.
As you kind of
Fuck
like think
No.
about like
No.
what has happened here, and invite these new bear folk into your home, like you do realize that it seems that things will be good for the bear folk. Like it may not be over for them. Their story isn't finished. For these
There
ones,
still may be a battle to win.
absolutely. For these ones, it's a very much kind of going to be a catch-up game because they are very much displaced.
They're from my time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would have been
Holy
basically
shit.
a wild tribe of bear folk that got caught in the Bitterheart Forest during Gulthias's signing of the accord with Chandra Nikto.
I'll help kind of like catch them up on history because I've been there. So
Yeah, at first they're kind of like not understanding, like, and some of them seem to be confused by kind of these minor conveniences, and like they're looking at the craftsmanship of what are very just simple kind of cups and plates, but for their time, like, whoa,
You're a lord. You like
yeah, like you're rich.
you're the king.
Just wait till they see an auto carriage.
Yeah, oh
Yo.
god.
Holy shit.
But they seem to be very much in awe of everything, and like, yeah, Aveline, as you see them kind of struggling to understand like these minor things, you kind of explain the details, work them through the process of how, like a decanter works, these minor details. But yeah, it seems everything is good in Bearton.
Nutter would have
now.
definitely spent some time. Like obviously he would have done where you guys been. How'd you get here? So that stuff would have been gotten through.
The leader of the group, the white snooted one, will kind of explain everything in detail. He explains that it was Esmeralda who first got them in contact with Saphira, and they've been talking with her in her short entries into the world. He says Esmeralda was set to come with us, but a few days ago, Hero found us, and she stood to make sure we could get out safely at a later point, when apparently Saphira was ready to engage in her destruction. She was with us the whole time, but she kept saying she was distracting him. We assumed it was some sort of druid magic or some sort of primal essences that she was doing to maybe confuse him or something. And you would know
She was
I
with
wonder
us the
if it
whole
was-
time.
you would know
I
that
wonder
it's
if it was her who sent the echoes.
perhaps. He says, as well, he says, it would be great to see her again at some time. We are very grateful to her. She was able to bring us out of that purgatory.
Nutter will hold his like not like take out his axe, but like hold the handle of his axe and be like, we will see her again.
Wait.
I will go back.
Quick.
I have things I need to finish.
Sorry.
No, you now go.
Okay, so quick question. Saphira was the one that we like took out of Nock and then hid with the deceiver. No.
Saphira
No.
was the one that Aveline and Sen went to go meet at Lon Lon Ranch.
Yeah. Outside
Okay.
of Knock.
Yeah.
Where?
Basically, there's a small ranch outside of Nock where there's horses, and they're all like, it's Lon Lon Ranch from fucking Hyrule. It's
Yeah.
So this is where Nutter gets all of his milk.
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and,
well, yeah,
and
yeah. That makes sense.
has horses trained.
It's probably the case that there's some sort of trade agreement with the ranch and Barrington. That tracks. That's fine.
Nutter's definitely been trying to network safe trade routes that are beneficial to the environment and also to the
Where he
people of
gets
the
his
towns.
money.
Yeah, and so you would know too, like Barrington is actually being seen as like a considerable point of interest for the people in Nock. And the reason why that's the case is because it seems to be a rising strong point beyond the defenses that were so easily destroyed at Siffer's Pass. So it would seem that, in recent history, and I would say in the aftermath of this session, the Bear Lord will probably start forming communications with the crab of House Sereda, and discussing the matters therein.
Hopefully, they have patience for a simple bear.
More than. The crab is nothing but patient. And also almost as big as you, despite being just a regular Osirian guy.
Mm.
He is a swole mofo. But that being said, Panavolka and the members of the Enclave would return back after a long party. Belroth would be granted payment, as previously discussed. Meebo, at that point, would say to Nodder, it seems you have a lot of good friends with you. A lot of shields that can be taken up to defend you. Meebo, I think it's time for me to see what I can do in the world.
Open a tavern.
When you sent me into the city, it was very amazing. And I enjoyed it. I would like to go with Belroth back to the city.
Meepo, of course.
Um,
Your home is always here. There is a home for you here at all times. But of course, have your adventure. Tell me about it when you come back.
Aveline, you definitely know your research back in Nock is important, and obviously there's a conversation you have to have with Sen that includes depositing a badass crossbow upon them. Any other thoughts as to what happens with Aveline in the aftermath? Like, you definitely know that Golthias lingers in Nightbang Pass, and would probably easy enough to approach. Do you feel like Aveline at this point is ready for that? Or which...
Probably. I think she just really wants the answers now. Like, she's just kind of like, I want to know everything.
Absolutely.
It's all convoluted and she's angry about it, so.
The best way to do it is get to the source. And so Aveline's mind is kind of focused as she gets back in her research. The welding torch finishes the last weld on Copper 2.0. And as you kind of look down at the Shield Guardian, knowing full well the next step for you is going to require not only questions, forming the right questions, but it's definitely going to require friends. Because you know that the only reason that you were able to deal with that magnitude of death and evil in the former heroic hero is because you had friends.
The power of friendship.
And Belroth.
That was
I have a,
that
I have a
was-
PS before we wrap up. I have a
Also.
PS.
Yeah.
Also,
Do you want to go with it now, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, let me
Pop it in.
hit it,
Okay,
hit it
go
now. So, Panavalka, prior to being, a bad bitch with a song and a sword, was an academic, someone who studied the religious texts. And as soon as she gets back to the Enclave, she begins work on a liturgically founded text about the dangers of loving too deeply, called The Parable of Bait, where she will immortalize his really tragic story, and she remembers the words that he said as he passed, and she wants to memorialize his story
I love
in
that.
a text that is also dedicated to Alway.
Okay. Belroth, you make it back to the city with Meepo in tow.
Killer.
Anything in particular you want to kind of sign off with?
He would probably take a step back from like picking up any jobs. He's got a lot to process, things that he didn't know about his life. Probably go visit his mom and be like, we need to talk.
I figured this day would come, she would say. As
Yeah.
And
that
then
conversation. Oh, go ahead.
so then Nodder would find Ballerina and Penny Valka, and he would tell them that at a certain point in the fight, before Hero let me out, he said, I don't have a lot of years left. He's right. Someday I'll die. I need to research. I need to research. I'm not going to research. I need your help. I want to figure out what that Wodakai kid was up to, how to get back there. What are the stakes? I feel like there's more going on behind the scenes.
Well, that works nicely into Ballerina's kind of epilogue section. Ballerina, you know that despite the day being won and the lands of Ta being kind of purified of the evils that were lingering behind after the Lady of the Deeps stroll through it, there is an evil that seems to burn at the heart of this space. And Nodder is very much the one who stood against it this time. And it seems that that is what Nodder's goal here in this quest, to join him in researching this matter, is. Your shield is still needed here.
Absolutely, and he has it.
And any thoughts on how you would aid him in his current request for research?
Would she now... It's been established throughout the party that it was in relation to Gulthias, correct? So she'd probably work towards finding exactly where he is and his
Real quick,
weaknesses.
Nodder would
that
have
way I
been
understand.
informed by Aveline and or Sen that Gulthias is alive in the material plane,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that-
sure.
That does sound like it would probably be the direction that kind of...
Also would have really irritated Nodder.
He
Um,
invited us to tea.
Absolutely did, and might have made out with Jai.
Holy fuck.
If
We missed out on that.
Jai.
just
Yeah.
fucking
If only
came over.
he's right.
Said you picked up some random in like Anamouth. Sure. Perfect. So we have an understanding for everyone. That leads me to the most hilarious one. Fate. You sit in stillness. Nothing but mist clouds your eyes, your mind, your soul. The only things that you can remember are that Hero owns your life. And Fate's gonna kill him. Every so often you see flashes of something in the shadows, something in the mists, and you feel like you could stroll over in that direction to see it. You see a bright light in the mists, almost like a moth to it. You struggle over in that direction. You see the silhouette and then more detailed aspects of a woman, bright blonde hair, carrying a staff, symbol of Halloween. Its place where the star would be located is a heart. You remember her. She was there when Rock was defeated. Rockscale. When Lord Rockscale was defeated. My God, my brain did it dumb. It's doing great though. And as this person kind of passes you by, you feel like you want to murder them. But you know you can't do anything. Because every time you try to do something besides just wander, you just can't muster the strength. Then the mist clears. You're in a small room. Chamber like the one you were in when you were first drawn into this realm by the strange deceiver, the fox creature. There's a coffin, and inside of the coffin is the body of some human. Massive black blade stabbed in his chest and holding the hilt, the familiar blue dragon-scaled hand of Hero. You see others coming out of the mists to your left, to your right. The room starts to fill up with these dead soldiers. Hero looks down at the body. You can see darkness kind of rising into the blade, and Hero looking at this process with a grin. It feels like he's sucking the life force out of that corpse. But it also feels like he's sucking the life force of the very room you're standing in. The entirety of the environment and reality you are standing in. And it seems like he's becoming empowered by it as he kind of glares down at the body and looks up at you and yours. The next time the Bear Lord steps into my realm, slit his fucking throat. Kind of twists the blade a little bit and seems to be kind of like clenching his hand so tightly that his claws are kind of burying in his palm, just angrily supping at the soul of Gulthias, consuming the dread plane of Gulthias into the sword. Anything you want to add to that, Zach?
No, I imagine when he does that, like Bait like looks down, sees he's become corporeal again, and just starts like
A lot of the people around you are kind of doing the same.
and it's just it's the hyenas laugh. They're
Yeah.
all just like
Absolutely, like a group of
That's all.
surly bandits, like just ready for the fight. Absolutely great. I did end.
I love that for Bait.
I did come to the narrative end of the story a little sooner than I expected, but that's fine. It would have just been kind of a weird middle if it had got much longer. You guys did great in that fight, by the way. I do want to let you know that
Hell yeah.
that's the case. That being said, thanks you for those who watched the Hands of Ventum 4-part series. That is the conclusion. And we will be continuing the story in the future as we kind of move towards understanding Gulthias. It won't be the next story arc we do. We're going to do something kind of different in between there. But once we get back to that, I'll make sure that there's notices in the Discord and all of that so that everyone knows when it's coming. Thanks for watching those that did, and we will see you next Tuesday with something different.
Bye.
Oi.